Hi, it's me again, Kelly Bowker, out for a walk, and it's a gorgeous fall day. It's amazing how fast the autumn comes. Once it gets started, the leaves are starting to fall, and it's just so beautiful. I'm out for a nice walk this morning while my hubby's out golfing, which is exciting. And I just wanted to talk about some things that are going on in my mind recently. It's a pretty busy place, just saying. Uh, so I had the experience. I'm talking a lot recently about being spirit led. And I am really working. It doesn't take a lot of work, it takes a lot of intention to be keyed in, checking in with myself, checking in with my frequency, and seeing if I'm on the right path. And I invite all of you to do exactly that. It is a wonderful journey. However, there are times, and this is what I want to talk about today. Yesterday, I was working on a project and I turned into the proverbial dog with a bone. I could feel things starting to be glitchy. I could feel my energy getting tense. I knew that I was not being spirit led. I knew they were nudging me to step away and regroup, do something else for a little while, and then come back to whatever I was working on. And I absolutely could not do it. I just couldn't do it. I mean, it was to the point that I was saying out loud, I hear you. I know it would be the best thing for me to step away. I just can't seem to do it. I just can't seem to do it. And I'm not sure what that is. I guess, yeah, they just dropped the word ego into my mind. The ego got a hold of a juicy project that I was really excited about that had lots of wonderful aspects to it. I felt so empowered around it. I was re editing my first book, which frankly was a hot mess when I published it. I did the best I knew how, but it was a big enough hurdle publishing for the first time. I just had to surrender that I didn't know how to edit it. I didn't know how to format it. And I put it out as best I could. But I can tell you that though I was proud of publishing my book and putting the story in chronological order and all that kind of stuff, I was not proud of the book itself, the physical book, because it was hard to read. To be honest, I don't think I've ever sat down and read it start to finish like I've read my establishing your frequency many times. And we've done a book club on it because it's beautiful and it's laid out well and you can understand it. My other book wasn't. So through a bunch of circumstances, I figured out the process of editing it. I found an awesome video, step by step. Oh my gosh, if any of you ever need it, let me know and I'll put the link out there because my gosh, if somebody like me can literally go step by step, and I was able to redo the ebook with that cool um, table of contents that's all, I think it's called hyperlinked, and you click on it and it takes you right to the chapter. And then my publish uh, my paperback as well. Did a new cover, so be looking for the new cover if you're interested. And I was just so excited about it. But I started to hit a little bit of a glitch, just a little bit of a glitch. And instead of stepping away the way that my guides were leading me to, just put my nose to the grindstone and I kept on working. And there's no wrong in that. They're not going to be mad at us. They're certainly not holding any kind of judgment or any kind of thing like that. Oh, we're coming to the little farm area that I walk by. Mr. Pig, he don't smell very good. Um, I know that there's no judgment. I know I haven't let anybody except myself down. And it's a beautiful example, you know? You have to look at all of these kinds of things. No, you don't have to. They just nudged me. You are invited. We're all invited to look at circumstances like that for the learning that they can bring through. Because, oh, no, we look at circumstances like that for the learning that they can bring through. And if we do that, then it's for the good, you know? And, maybe we will, maybe we won't. It's hard to say. But in this case, I have been reflecting on it. And My goodness, over this past few weeks, as I have been really, I would use the term that Abraham Hicks brought through, segment intending, that I have really dropped into my heart often throughout the day and set my intention and called in my help. And I got very specific with my intention. I want this to be easy. I want to have fun, blah, 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 blah. I just set it right out in detail. And it has been working so well. So I'm a little mad at myself when I clearly could feel that I was pushing uphill. Why did I feel so like I had to keep on going? And it's another beautiful example of understanding our relationship with our ego. The ego loves projects like that. And the ego wants to see them through to the end. That's part of what makes the ego feel better and feel good. I understand that. Absolutely. I love that aspect of myself when I get things done. They're just nudging me to be reminded that the ego, oh, okay. Let me just let that settle a minute. The ego's job is not to care about the feelings of the inner child or the uncomfortableness of the body. The ego's job, if it perceives, now think about it. So I've got a project, got to get that project done. Now we have trained ourselves, and I know I have as well, trained myself that stress equals threat. So here I am. I'm starting to work. I'm starting to get stressed because it's not going well. I can feel that stress in my body, and that my ego goes into, oh my God, we've got to get this done. We got to get it done. We got to get it done. We got to get it done. I can see how that worked, honestly. And I can see how the ego paid absolutely no attention to the communication of my body, who had been sitting there too long, needed a break. If I'd have gotten up and gone for a little walk or something, it would have been so much better. But I didn't. And I think that what the lesson that they are inviting us to this morning is to realize it's not the ego's job to pay attention to those things. Somehow, I don't quite understand how to even speak to it, but somehow it's our responsibility. We are sovereign. We are sovereign. And so we can look at the whole of our humanity. And for me at that moment, it would have been looking at my inner child is feeling frustrated. This isn't fun. We're not having fun anymore. My body was feeling tense, a little, uncomfortable because I'd been sitting and working on my computer too long. And so I was getting my higher self, my divine self was getting communication from all three. And I capitulated to the ego. I just gave in to the ego. And so the ego won that round. I can't help that. Can't change yesterday, but I can learn from it moving forward. So what could I have done? Give me some insight on what could I have done? Dear ones, it takes practice. It takes practice in your living with this new knowing of your different components of your humanity and your interaction with them. You are seeing the value as you become clear in your being spirit-led, utilizing the humanity to give you a greater access to your divinity. This is exactly what we would have you know. It is practice. You were close yesterday to giving in to the nudges of your higher self, saying that a break would be better and beneficial. And now that you have worked it through in your mind with your processing and your comparing and such, working it through, next time perhaps will be a bit easier. And in the meantime, you have the ability to share this with those who you bring messages to. Thank you. So it's practice. I do get sick of that, but it is. We just can't. One of the things that I was thinking about as I was beginning my walk, wondering what I was going to talk about, as I was thinking about how I would imagine, and I probably would have felt that way myself prior to this awakening and this ability to channel myself, that people, let's say Esther Hicks, that she has all of this access to non-physical wisdom. So of course she just puts it all into practice and she does it all easily every day. No, that's not the truth. I'm sure she would say the same thing. At least I know for sure it's not the truth for me. And, it takes working with these concepts. It takes, just like when I used to teach my CNA program, you can present a concept, something simple like people have to be turned every 2 hours or they can get a pressure sore. You present that. That doesn't mean that kid owns that knowing, owns all that goes into understanding that knowing. You have to come at it from lots of different directions. And that's exactly what my team is doing right now as they are teaching me about the integration of my humanity and my divinity. They are bringing it through in so many different ways to give me more and more and more understanding. This morning I was working on putting together the class that they have given me, and I do believe it is something that they want me to do. And there are times when I sit down to work on it when it just flows and I know I'm supposed to be working on it. And I don't know if that has to do with timing. And there's times when I sit down and work on it and all of a sudden it's like everything I'm looking at, everything I'm listening to is a different language and I don't understand what to do next. So I am intending to be spirit-led as I put this class together. And I'm intending to know clearly how to do that with all of you that are interested. I can honestly say that it is life-changing material. I had somebody who I talk with quite regularly, who's a very evolved soul, and he said that he has never heard anyone talking about the ego in this way, talking about it in the way of becoming friends with it, learning to honor it, learning to understand it, creating a relationship with it. That is exactly what this is all. It's the relationship with all three of those aspects, always boiling down to love, always boiling down to that place where we see ourselves as the beautiful, magical creatures that we are, and that we know that everything is working out for our highest good, that we are loved and protected, and that it's all coming together. It is exciting. It really is an exciting journey. So I'll be keeping people posted about this class. And I will definitely be doing a book club on my first book. And that book club, oh gosh, they are just so remarkable. Being fun, I just clicked on one of the things and it zoomed me to it because I'm so techie now and I figured that all out. And so it took me to a unit. I started reading the unit. It was one of probably the first 10 downloads that I did as a channel. And within that, there was the concept around my relationship with the earth and a concept around the relationship between me and my energy. And at that time, I had no idea. And at that time, I did not act on my relationship with the earth. I didn't understand the importance of that. I think that when we work with these texts that the guides have brought through, for me, I'm gonna get this little caterpillar. See him? Get him out of the road because oh God, I don't like touching him. Okay, I saved him. Michael, be proud of me. Um, as we work with these texts, um, we, for me, part of the most important thing that I get out of the work, like the first book club with establishing your frequency and now moving on to this other one, is it shows you the cosmic plan. And as we go through it, I know, just can't even wait. It's going to be so cool because I know that just like with the first book club I did, when I was reading it out loud to create the audible book for you to be able to send to people that were part of the book club, as I was reading it, sometimes the energy would just overtake me, and the guides or Mother Earth or one of the angels would come through, and they would bring through a section to add to what was there, the explaining needed for the vibration of this moment in time. Because when they brought so much of this stuff through that first year, I just wasn't at a place where I could understand it. I just, it was at the very beginning, which I think is just so profound now that I think about it. Because all time is now, and they knew this is all they're knowing, that there was a timeline where I would do the book club and bring this information forward. And they've been giving me nudges to keep my frequency at the highest that I could keep it, to stay on this timeline of doing this work, which is a beautiful thing. And yeah, it's a lot to think about, but it's exciting, and I feel incredibly blessed to be doing it. And every time I work through this stuff, this content, this stuff that they've brought through, I learn more and more, and I realize that it takes multiple times through to truly get it. My goodness, I think about me and the law of attraction. I'm only just truly understanding how to create my own reality. They brought through all the truth. Abraham brought through all the truth. My guides have brought through the truth. But we digest it through our human mind, which only lets us understand to the point that we can understand. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just we can only go to where our frequency is. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So I guess I'm going to say all for now. Love, light, and laughter to everybody. Be sure to check out my website because I am posting things much more often. And check out my booking site because you just never know when I'm going to put something up there. We are definitely moving forward with the California retreat, November 8th, 2024. It is a gorgeous venue. It is beautiful, and it is going to be transformational. So go to the website and check it out, presentmomentmagic.net, and I will be seeing you all soon. Bye-bye.